Good morning. I hope everybody slept well. I had a lot come to me. Brought this on themselves, psyops. When we, the people, take control of our mind and start listening to ourselves. That's what came to me. One thing. And then I can ask whatever questions I want. I know. That came to me as well in my dreams. It's like, and it's weird. When I dream, my dreams are all over the place. They really are. My dream state. But I was like, why is there such a big deal on people asking questions? Or speaking their truth, or speaking their mind? I mean, really think about it. Why is there such a big deal on that? It's really weird, actually, if you think about it. Because I don't understand why we live in a country or a world, why it's just such a problem. It's a problem for people to ask questions. It's a problem for people to speak their mind. And it's a problem for people to speak their truth. Why? Have you ever asked yourself that? Why? Why is it such a problem? Like, who said it was such a problem? Right? The hierarchy, the elites, those in power. Oh, so they say it's a problem? So it's a problem? No. It's a problem for them. It's a problem for them. Right? Because if we all start speaking our truth, spreading our wisdom, spreading our knowledge, spreading change, spreading kindness, spreading fairness, standing up to injustice. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem for them, right? And so that just came to me and I was like, wow, it's such a profound statement. Like, why do people get so fluffered? It's just words, right? It's just words. Like, it's not anything physical happening here, right? Like, when I speak, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, whether you agree with it or you don't agree with it, it's still, at the end of the day, just words. I'm not physically hurting you, all right? If I'm harming you in the way of the mind, then that's something that you have to take control over. Like, that's something that I've had to take control over in my little Truman Show, in my little psyop. You know, there's been a lot of things in the last 10 years of my life where there's just been these moving pieces in my life to really put me in a very bad place, negatively in my mind. Whether that's friends, my ex-husband, just so many different things that have been moved around me strategically, intentionally, to get me in a negative headspace to where I do something physically harming to myself, right? And I never want to say anything that is physically harming to anyone, right? But it's like, at the same time, we have to learn how to strengthen our minds in this world, in this web we weave. Because your mind and your heart is what's going to save you in this world. If they're going to eat you up and spit you out. I had somebody make a comment. What'd she say? I wanted to touch on it a little bit. I'm loving the interaction. Thank you for that, guys. Much appreciated. I'm a little feisty, spicy. You know what I mean? Apparently you don't see those of us that spread the change. I said, in my little local community, unfortunately, I don't see you. If you don't live in my area, I wouldn't see you spreading change, right? And unfortunately, in my local area, it's few and far between. But I do see people spreading change. Now, when it comes to my algorithms, baby, those are all wonky. What I see is what they let me see, okay? But no, I'm well aware that there's people spreading change. Absolutely. Absolutely. And when I make my videos, I just think it's so comical that people take it such as a personal offense. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you or her or anybody else. I'm just saying in general, in general, right? We need to get to a place where not just me, not just her, and a few people, 5 out of 10 people are making a change, or 3 out of 10 people are making a change. It's got to be a substantial number where we've got like 18 out of 20 making a change, standing up for what's right. But yeah, I'm well aware there's a lot of people out there advocating and making change. But I also am well aware that there are a lot of people that are well aware of my story. There are a lot of people well aware of my Truman Show. And yet everybody just keeps residing in it as if it's not happening. And to me, that's weird. That is weird. Like, I don't know why. I'm trying to understand that concept of this story. Like, I understand why God's placed everything and why everything's moving in the direction that it is and why it has. And I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be alive. I am a threat. Like, I'm well aware of all of that, right? That goes without saying. Like I told my mom just a minute ago when I woke up talking about my previous company, my ex-boss, Ben. I was like, golly, I know karma is slapping him so far, like, all up over his face. He'll lie through his teeth. He'll walk into the world and think he'll make you believe everything's rosy prosy. That's what these people do. His entire family, the entire organization, that's what they do. They're fakest freaks, right? Like, they're just fake. But I'll tell you, I should have known a long time ago. I said, you just got to realize, because he runs multiple consulting companies as well. And I'm sorry, but for me personally, all the consultants that I've come into contact with, they're just liars. They really are. Again, I'm only speaking on behalf of ones that I've come in contact with, right? Or in passing, but hearing them speak and, the business deals and things like that, like, it was so crazy. I'd be in my office working, I'd hear him. I'm like, bro, do you even hear yourself? Do you even hear the words that are coming out of your mouth? It's so crazy sometimes when these businessmen and women get on these rampages and they just start spewing at the mouth, and all it is BS, and you're just listening to it. And you're like, what? Am I in like the Twilight Zone? Do you even hear the stuff that are coming out of your mouth? Like, that's how trippy it is. For me personally, again, my personal opinions, my personal beliefs, my personal experiences, all right? I'm not speaking on behalf of everyone out there or all consultants out there. I'm just saying ones that I've come in contact with, right? But you have to understand, when you work for a company like this, and this is how they operate, and this is how they choose to operate, and why lying and lying comes so freely and easy to them, why wouldn't they do it to you? At the time, I thought it was funny. At the time, I didn't really recognize what I was surrounded by or what I actually worked for, right? I didn't realize. But now looking back at it, it's like, no, man, that actually was kind of a big deal, because things like that are character building. They just are. What you do for a living and how you conduct yourself on a daily basis is your character. It is your character. You can't run from that. Now, yeah, you got to do what you got to do to make a little bit of money, and that's completely up to you how you want to spend that. But for me personally, it's just not something I could adopt. I was very unsuccessful at it, clearly, right? And I was successful at killing myself because everything I said out of my mouth, I made sure it came true for my owners, my residents, even him as my business owner, things like that. But I killed myself. And see, that's a problem when you carry a certain morality inside of you and you give your word, you're going to move mountains to make sure that happens. Well, when people see that in you, they're going to siphon you because they know that you will. Again, my personal opinions. You don't have to agree with me, okay? Happy Monday. I got to work a double today. I love you guys. Have a great day.